Hi, fourth graders. Welcome back for another week of remote learning. I hope last week you got a chance to relax and get refreshed and reset your mind so that way you're ready to start back to school or back to remote learning with focus and attention to all the work that you need to complete, and make sure you're handing everything in on time so that way I can get things graded and back to you in a timely manner. I also want to make sure that you're getting everything done and that you're understanding the material. So if you do have any questions, please make sure that you send me a message, and we could have a Google Meet so that way I can explain maybe in greater detail or in a different way, so that way you're understanding what you're struggling with. Okay. I also want to take note that many of you I think are doing the vocabulary Kahoot before you do any of the lessons, before you learn the words. That's a test grade. So if you're not doing very well on it, that's telling me that you're doing it first, and it's not meant to be first. It's meant to be second. And I've put that as a note on every time I've given it to you as an assignment. But I need you to understand that is weighted higher. That's a test. So that counts more. I mean, you still have to do the workbook pages. Those are still getting graded as well, but the test is counting more. So those of you that are just doing it and not really caring and just quickly clicking through, or doing it before you even do the work in the workbook, you're not going to do well because you don't know the words yet. So you need to do the work before you do the Kahoot. That should be second. That should be completed completely after you're done all of the workbook pages. Okay? And it has to be done before Friday because it goes away. I only set it for the week, so you have to start planning and making sure that you're getting everything done in a timely manner, in an organized, timely manner. Okay? Alrighty, so we are starting on a new module, Module 8. So I need you to have Module 8, Lesson 1 in front of you, and we're ready to go. Alrighty. So we're going to be multiplying with tens. So we're going to be using different strategies to multiply with multiples of 10. And I'm just going to caution you to start one of the problems we're going to be doing. We're going to basically be getting rid of pretty much the whole page of it, and we're going to be doing it in a different way than try to overburden you with too many different ways to solve the problem. Okay? So we have a coding club, and it uses a coding website that has 20 projects. Each project takes 24 steps to complete. During a session, the club will complete all of the projects. What multiplication strategy can you use to find out how many steps the club will work through? So we have 20 projects, and each one of those projects takes 20 steps to complete. So we know that this will be 20 times 24, right? So we haven't done 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication yet, but when we have a 0 at the end, I can look at this number and I know that this number is 2 tens, right? This number is 2 tens. So I'm going to be multiplying 2 tens times 24. And I want you to think about this. If I had 1 10, which is the same as a 10, right? If I had 1 10, and I had 10 times 24, I know anything times 10, I just put, right, a 0 on the end. Everything moves up by one place value. So I would go from 24 to 240. So if I had 110 times 24, that would equal 24 tens, which is the same as 240. Okay? So I have 2 tens. So I want to think about this as 2 times 24. Because tens is really my label here. And then my label is going to help me turn it into a number. Okay? So 2 times 24 equals 48, right? But it's not just 48 because it's 2 tens times 24. So I have 48 tens. So when over here, when I multiplied, I know that 110 times 24 equals 24 tens, and 24 tens is the same as 240. So 2 tens times 24, or 20 times 24, equals 480. So we can see that essentially what you're doing, and this is a strategy that I usually teach in 4th grade, and you're not going to see it in the book, but it's a strategy that you can use. And this only works when you're multiplying and you have a 0 on the end of your multiplication problem, okay? So what I do is I offset my 20, meaning I'm going to move my 2 in my 20 underneath the ones place of my 24. The reason I'm doing that is because I know 20 is the same as 2 tens. So my 0 is going to go here, because what did I do? Remember, when I do 10 times something, we put a 0 on the end and everything moves up a place value. The same thing here. The 0 is just going to come down here on the end, and now I'm going to multiply like I normally would. 4 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 2 equals 4. Okay? So the club will work through 480 steps. So these are just a couple of different ways that you can look at this problem in order to solve it. So let's check out the next one. So the coding club meets for 60 minutes each week for 16 weeks. How many minutes will they meet during the 16-week period? So we have 60 minutes and there are 16 weeks. We're going to go right into doing the work. So I know that I am going to be multiplying 60 times 16. So remember, there's a couple of ways we can look at this. We can look at this 60 as 6 tens. And we are multiplying 6 tens by 16. Okay? So if I have 16 times 6 tens, right? I can set it up like this. Or if you are more comfortable doing area model, you could also set it up like this, right? You could do your expanded form with your 16 and put your 6 here. Okay? Either way, it will work. So 6 times 6 is 36. I regroup my 3. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And I'll get the same here, right? 10 times 6 is 60. 6 times 6 is 36. And when I add those two together, I get 96. Now, 6 tens times 16. So all I did was multiply the two numbers together. And remember, tens is my label. So I have 96 tens. 96 tens is the same as, whoops, 96 tens is the same as 960. So then coding club meets for 960 minutes. So now remember, you can also put your 16 on top, offset your 60. So you're just going to bring your 0 down, and then you're going to multiply your other digits. So 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So see how it all works out the same. But I want to show you the different ways, so that way, whichever way you feel the most comfortable, you can solve. And we're not going to worry about that. Okay? So this is the problem I was talking about. We're not going to do all of this in the middle here. We're just going to be multiplying 30 times 12. So I'm going to cross off up to C. I'm not going to cross off C because that's where we're going to write our answer. So let's go back to read the problem. It takes 12 lines of code to move a character through an obstacle course. Adrienne wants to move 30 characters through the course. How many lines of code will she write? So we know that she has 12 lines of code. Each line has 30 characters, so we're multiplying 30 times 12. So I'm just going to use this empty space here. So if I have 30 times 12, I know that my 30 is 3 tens times 12, right? Or I could do 12 times 30 offset, whichever you feel most comfortable. When I look at this 3 tens times 12, I know that 3 times 12, I can do that one in my head. 3 times 12 equals 36. So this will be 36 tens. 36 tens is the same as 360. Or over here, I bring down my 0. 2 times 3 equals 6. 1 times 3 equals 3. 360. So I'm just showing you both ways, so that way whichever way you feel, again, the most comfortable using, you can use. So Adrian will write 360 lines of code. All right, choose a method to solve the problem. So you're going to just choose which way do you feel the most comfortable. Do you feel the most comfortable renaming to tens and then multiplying and then just putting that, giving it the name of tens and putting the 0 at the end? Or do you feel most comfortable lining it up just a little bit differently and multiplying? You choose. What do you feel the most comfortable doing? I'm going to show both ways just so you can see how it's done. So how many paper clips are in 20 boxes? So we have 20 boxes of paper clips. Each box of paper clips contains 75. So this problem is 20 times 75, right? So if I rename, I have 2 tens times 75. So this is essentially 75 times 2, right? And then the label is tens. So 75 times 2, 5 times 2 equals 10, regroup my 1. 7 times 2 equals 14 plus 1 is 15. So we have 150 tens. 150 tens is the same as 1,500. Now if I were to write it the other way, 75 times 20, and I offset that 0, I just bring down the 0. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 goes here, regroup my 1. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So there are 1,500 paper clips in 20 boxes. So again, I'm just showing you both. You don't have to write both. I'm just showing you both, so that way whichever you feel the most comfortable doing, you will do. Okay? So now we're going to the on your own section. So remember, you can do this part independently, or you can do it with me. If you do it independently, make sure you pause the video and then come back to make sure that your answers match. All right? Eva puts 70 rubber bands of each color in the container. She says she has 1,470 rubber bands. What strategy will you use to determine if she is correct and why? So we can see that she has how many different colors of rubber bands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. She has 21 different colors of rubber bands. And she's going to put 70 of each color in the container. So 21 times 70 would be what we're going to do to multiply. Okay? So if I have 21 times 7 tens, so I'm going to multiply 21 times 7. 1 times 7 is 7. 12 times 7 is 14. So I have 147 tens. And 147 tens is the same as 1,470. So is she correct? Yes. She is correct. And if you were to set it up the other way, 21 times 70, 0, 7, 1,470. Number 3. Show how you can find the product 15 times 90 in your own way. So again, choose what way you like best. I'm going to do 15 times 90. I'm going to offset my 0. So I'm going to bring my 0 down. Then I'm going to multiply 5 times 9 is 45. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. So the answer is 1,350. So, and the same thing would have been true if you did with the tens. Millions of documents, thousands of hours of music, and as many as 25,000 photos can be stored on a 64 gigabyte flash drive. How many gigabytes of data can be stored on 20 flash drives of this size? So we want to know how many gigabytes of data. So if it's a 64 gigabyte flash drive and there are 20 of them, we want to know how many gigabytes can be stored total on 20 flash drives. So this would be 64 times 20, right? I'm going to offset my 0, bring that 0 down, and then I'm going to multiply. 4 times 2 equals 8, 6 times 2 equals 12. So 1,280 gigabytes of data. Alrighty, and our last 3. 80 times 29. So again, I'm going to do the offset method. Bring down my 0. 9 times 8 is 72. So I put my 2 here, I regroup my 7. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 7, 23. So we'd have 2,320. $35 times 30. So again, 35 times 30, I'm offsetting that 0. I'm going to bring down my 0. 5 times 3 is 15. Regroup my 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So we have 1,050. And our last problem, 16 times 90, offset. Bring down my 0. 6 times 9 is 54. Bring my 5 up here. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. So I have 1,440. Okay? So you are going to do the questions for 8.1. When you are finished, you're going to either take a picture and load it to the lesson on Google Classroom, or you're going to send it to me, or have your family someone take a picture of it at home and then email it or text it to me. Okay? All right. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.